Iron is one of the most critical ingredients in the game. If you want to craft anything that does anything, from tools and armor to anvils and hoppers, you're going to need iron. I'm going to show you how to get mass quantities of iron on your very first day with this easy to build farm. This iron farm is capable of producing up to 3 iron golems every 30 seconds, which will give you the maximum amount of iron for a single village farm. You can set this with either 10 villagers, 20 villagers, or 30 villagers. And for every 30 seconds that you wait, that will either give you 1 iron golem for 10 villagers, 2 iron golems for 20, or 3 iron golems for 30. On top of that, this farm can never break because if a villager relinks to a different workstation, all he has to do is walk over to it, whereas if they were locked into a chamber, they would not be able to do so. Now for your convenience, there is a full item list inside of the description below. I would also highly recommend chunk aligning this. There is also a pack made by foxynotail that will allow you to see all of the chunk borders called the marker pack, and you can just give a banner to an armor stand and change the pose, and that's going to highlight all of the chunks. That way you can build the iron farm on the center of the chunk here and never have to worry about any of the villagers unlinking or the farm breaking. Now there's a few things that you want to look for whenever you're building this farm. You want to find a relatively flat area, or at least make a relatively flat area. You can have raised terrain next to it. Just try to find some terrain that does not dip down below. Any terrain that dips down below or has caves under the surface within a 20 block radius is going to spawn iron golems. So you're going to want to make sure that all of these are filled in. This includes underwater caves. That way you never run into the issue of the iron golem spawning inside of there, because this will break your farm. So if you ever run into your farm slowing down or the golem stops spawning altogether, you probably have them spawning in a cave somewhere. Once you find your flat area, you are going to dig out a 9 block wide by 9 block wide square, and you are going to dig that 7 blocks deep. You are then going to grab the slab of your choice, and then you are going to go down here and find the very center of the hole that you just dug. You're going to take your single different colored bed and place it down with the pillow facing over top of the center block there. And then you're going to grab the rest of your other beds. Now you're going to need a minimum of 20 beds or a maximum of 30 beds. Even if you choose to only use 10 villagers, you still need at least 20 beds. So you are going to start laying these beds down. So grab the other colored beds and start placing them in like so. At this point, you should have all 30 beds placed in. If you do not wish to use 30 beds, then just remove whatever bed you would like. Just make sure that you do not remove the red bed because that is the center of the village. Next, grab the slabs of your choice and you're going to place lower slabs in all the areas that do not have beds. You then want to grab the amount of fletching tables that are going to match the number of villagers that you're putting in here. I recommend using fletching tables because the villagers will work all day long with these. You're going to go to any wall and you're going to place the fletching table at this level here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you're going to skip this block and place in 7 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you're going to turn to this wall and place in 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like I misplaced a slab there. Let's fix that. And then on this wall, we're going to place another 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's going to give you all 30 fletching tables for the villagers to work. Next, you want to figure out what side you want your item collection to be on. I'm going to end up building mine right here, so we want to go to the very center, and then we're going to dig out a 2x3 area like this, and then bring this all the way down 7 blocks total. Next, you're going to grab some torches, and you're going to place some torches around here just to light this up whenever we enclose this all with dirt. Next, you're going to start collecting the amount of villagers that you want inside of your iron farm. I recommend 30, that way you get the most rates for the farm. If you want to build this iron farm the very first day, you might want to consider building this underneath a village. So after you have finished the headbanging task of collecting all of the villagers, ensuring that you have no babies or nitwits inside of here, you are ready to start placing in the spawning platform. So you want to go 1 block above the torches, and you are going to start placing in dirt all the way across. Next, you're going to go over to this hole that we dug. You're going to go down here, remove this and this, where it should break through on the center of that hole. And then you're going to break these until you get to the center. Once you have done that, you're now going to fill this all the way in. Now this next part is dependent whether or not you have mined enough iron to make some hoppers. If you haven't, well, it's not really that big of a deal because we have plenty of iron behind us. So if you don't currently have enough iron, you can kill these guys. Just be sure not to get too close to these guys because they are naturally spawned golems and they will yeet you into the sunset. Don't ask me how I know. After you have killed enough of these guys to gather up some iron to make enough hoppers, you want to go down to the center of the farm after, of course, waiting for these guys to cool down. That way they're not angry with you. You're going to drop down through that hole in the center of the farm, and you're going to place down 2 temporary blocks there, and then bring your hoppers all the way across until they get to the center. Make sure that they are all facing into the neighboring hopper. And then once you're at the center, you can pillar up and out of here. Go ahead and remove those pillaring blocks that you placed down and place down your hopper right here. You can then place down a campfire on top of here. Make sure that you grab your 5 fence gates and place down a fence gate right here, a temporary block in the middle, a fence gate here, fence gate here, fence gate here, and fence gate here. Remove that temporary block and open all of these up. Now it's very important that you don't place lava inside of here yet, because these fence gates will catch on fire and burn. Instead, you want to go around inside of the corners, and you are going to place your water, make sure that you do not hit these guys because they will kill you. You're going to place your water in all 4 corners, just like so. Then you can pillar on top where you can crouch with a lava bucket and place your lava bucket in there, and that's going to start killing off all of these golems. Make sure that all of your fence gates are opened up, like this one is not open. There we go. Now they can all get into that lava, and that's going to kill them pretty quickly. Now the campfire is of course optional if you want to kill the cats. If you don't want to kill the cats, you can just take out the campfire and let them pile up in the center. This will not affect the rates of the farm at all. But what you want to do is get on top of that scaffolding block there, place you a temporary block here, a iron bar here. This iron bar is optional as well if you want that smoke to be stopped from going up in the air. And then you can also add a optional lightning rod. That way your villagers do not get struck underground. It probably won't happen, but just in case. Inside of this little hole, we can remove these 2 temporary blocks. Place you a chest here, just like so. 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. Now you can configure this however you want. If you want to add sorters in, or if you want to make this go down deeper, that's entirely up to you. But what I like to do is just add in some hoppers here inside of a zigzag fashion. That way everything will go down to the lowest chest down here. If you want some spawn proofing in here, you can place down some slabs here. I like to add some scaffolding going all the way up to the surface. Place some torches in here so we can see, and then cover this up with some grass. Now this little farm will produce close to the maximum rate of iron that you can get per hour, but if you want to increase the probability of the iron golem spawning, you can add an additional ring that is 3 blocks wide all the way around this. And once you dug out that 3 block wide ring, what you want to do is go to all 4 corners and place some water down, just like so. And then on the center, you want to place a source block of water here, a source block of water here, a source block of water here, and a source block of water here. You can then remove your ring all the way around here, letting the water flow completely in. And this will ever so slightly increase the efficiency of the farm. However, it is not needed unless you want to squeeze the very most out of your farm. If you do plan on making the farm a little bit larger, you can remove this, place some dirt right there, go 1 block back, and then dig this down by 7. And then dig out these 4 blocks here, remove the scaffolding, and then you can place the scaffolding here instead. Well guys, that's going to wrap up this tutorial video. If you enjoyed the video, then please drop a like below, and if you really enjoyed it, then consider subscribing. That way you don't miss any more of these upcoming tutorials. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!